After the absolutely crazy Australian Grand Prix, Ferrari are rightly annoyed after Carlos Sainz's penalty, which sent him to the back of the field, and they have lodged a right to appeal. Now let's take a quick look and go back through the incident. It was the second safety car restart after the red flag. We got into the first corner. Carlos Sainz ran a little deep, slight little tap on Fernando Alonso, sent him spinning. Immediately after that, there was another red flag for the third time. Following that, Alonso, who would have lost out on positions, actually didn't. He retained his position. We've seen at the same corner, actually, Logan Sargeant absolutely swipe out Nick De Vries, get no penalty for that. And then we also got the Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc incident at turn 3, which was a bit different to the Carlos Sainz one, but still a little tap from Lance Stroll sent Charles Leclerc off and he was out of the race. But we got 3 incidents and 3 very different punishments. Well, we only got 1 punishment. Carlos Sainz with a 5-second penalty, which he said was absolutely unacceptable. He was absolutely distraught, emotional, almost crying in the car, we've been told, following the news where he got. And I think what's most disappointing for him is the fact that he actually never got to go out and speak to the stewards and give his view across. They just issued a 5-second penalty, and it's quite quick considering it took them nearly 35-40 laps to give Fernando Alonso his penalty last time out. But I mean, it's different scenarios, I suppose. But there we go. So Ferrari are going to launch, or they've asked for a right to a review. Basically, this is the first step in an appeal. They have to do this. They have to produce evidence which wasn't available to the stewards at the time they issued the penalty, and then they can say if this is sufficient information where they may then consider changing their review or their view on the penalty. Now, this is the first step. Once this has been heard, they will then arrange a formal hearing, and the potential penalty may or may not be changed. Now, this is the first hurdle in the step. Ferrari quite rightly annoyed, in my view, because you've had Logan Sargeant that absolutely swiped out Nick De Vries in the first corner. Just completely took him out, but no penalty. It's like the stewards completely missed it, which is grossly unfair. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, if you look at that same, that first lap, 6 cars didn't make it round that second corner. So there's a lot to go into place. There was cold tyres, there was a slow warm-up lap to the grid, which was because they had to follow around the safety car. So, there are a lot of different elements to this that Ferrari potentially, can see why they are so aggrieved at the penalty that was issued. Now, let's see what the FIA decide at this initial review. Have they got anything special in terms of anything different that the FIA didn't consider at the time when handing out this penalty? I think looking at how harshly Carlos Sainz was viewed and Logan Sargeant completely got off for this almost the same incident where his was more severe, to be honest with you, I think there's a chance that Ferrari might get this overturned and will get his 4th place back, will Carlos Sainz. But let's see what happens. I think it will only be just if that happened. I think the penalty, in my view, was really harsh, especially considering what we've said with the other incidents. The 2 Alpines took each other out as well. No penalty on that one. So, I don't know where. Was it because a podium was at stake and that's why Carlos Sainz got the penalty? In terms of the actual incident, it didn't look too harsh. It was, he ran a slightly wide. Alonso sort of turned in and he's sort of met in at a point. It can happen. It's racing incident, in my view, especially on the first lap. And the first lap, we've heard, they're always going to be a bit lenient on the drivers at the start, but it wasn't to be the case on this occasion. And I think that's where there are a lot of little incidents where you can see where Ferrari might be able to get this appeal in. But let's see what happens. It's all up to the FIA, and we know that they've made some really random, strange decisions recently. But I'll keep you updated on this one. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment. I'll see you in the next video.